This is the Focus Shift podcast, your best listening experience for creating your best online business. We'll focus on topics that help you get discovered. So sit back, listen, take notes if you like, and get excited about growing your business.
Welcome to today's deep dive. We've got a pretty massive stack of sources to go through for you today.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of material.
Yeah, it's a comprehensive collection of recent intelligence reports, some strategy guides from search engine land, and alongside that, a very specialized photography SEO guide.
Which is actually super relevant, even if you aren't a photographer.
Right, exactly. Because our mission today is to figure out how to actually get your business or, your brand or creative portfolio found on the internet in 2026.
Because the game has changed entirely.
Completely changed. With these synthetic search models rewriting the rules of the web, the traditional ranking tactics are just breaking down fast.
They're falling apart.
So we're going to decode how human behavior has fundamentally shifted, why fixing every single technical error on your website is actually a trap, and how to build a visibility system that works for both people and the algorithms. So, okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
For the last 20 years, searching the internet was basically like walking up to a vending machine.
Right, a transactional vending machine.
Exactly. You knew exactly what you wanted. You typed in your query, you grabbed the top link that dropped down, and you were out of there in like 5 seconds. It was highly transactional.
It was. I mean, the traditional search engine results page, the SERP as we call it, was always designed to be a transit hub.
Just moving people along.
Right, it wasn't the destination.
Yeah.
The entire goal was to process your request and get you off that page and onto an actual website as quickly as possible.
But, when you look at how people are interacting with these new synthetic search results today, that vending machine model is just completely gone.
It's obsolete.
Searching today feels a lot more like sitting on your couch and browsing Netflix on a Friday night.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
Right. You're hovering, you're scrolling past different options, you're reversing back up to read a description you almost skipped. You are settling in.
What's fascinating here is that this is a fundamental shift in user behavior. The search page just isn't the transit hub anymore.
Because the answers are right there.
Exactly. Because these language models are synthesizing answers directly on the screen, the search page has become the actual destination.
Which changes everything.
It does.
Yeah.
And before we can even talk about how to optimize a website for this new landscape, we have to look closely at the data on how the person sitting behind the keyboard is behaving.
Yeah, the sources highlight this massive new clickstream study. They analyzed over 846,000 U.S. Google sessions.
Which is a huge sample size.
Massive. And the numbers in this study just blow up everything we thought we knew about search intent.
They really do.
Because for decades, intent predicted behavior. Like if you did a navigational search, say you just typed Lenovo or Home Depot into the search bar, you were the fastest searcher.
You just wanted the link.
Right. You found the link, clicked it, and you were gone in a second. But if you did a local search, like looking for a nearby emergency plumber, you lingered.
Because you had to check the map, read the reviews, compare options.
Exactly. There used to be this huge 20-point spread in how long people stayed on the page based entirely on what they were searching for.
And here's where the data gets wild. The second one of these synthesized overviews appears on the screen, that 20-point spread just completely collapses.
It's crazy.
It drops down to barely a 6-point difference.
Wow.
Yeah, it no longer matters if a user is looking for a local store, doing deep academic research, or just trying to navigate to a brand's login page. Everyone is staying on the search page for almost the exact same amount of time.
Because they are all doing the exact same thing, right? They are reading the summary generated by the algorithm.
Precisely. They are reading the synthesis.
The study actually notes the death of what they call the brand shortcut, which I thought was fascinating. Even when someone explicitly searches for a brand name, cursor activity on the screen jumps by 40%.
Which means they aren't just clicking the top link blindly anymore.
Right. They are evaluating what the digital agent has to say about the brand first.
The brand recall is still what gets the user to type the name, obviously. But the synthetic browse experience is what decides whether they actually click through to the site.
That makes total sense.
And we can physically see this in how users scroll. According to the data, half of all scrolling in this new search environment now goes backward.
Half of it goes backward, which perfectly fits that Netflix analogy.
Yeah, they are reading down the page, pausing and reversing direction to compare some they just read with something they saw a few seconds ago.
So all of the comparison shopping that used to happen by opening 10 different browser tabs is now happening directly on the search page itself.
Entirely on the SRP.
Okay, so if the user is treating the search page as the final destination and they are lingering in these synthesized overviews, how do you actually get your content featured inside those answers?
Well, that is the core shift from traditional SEO to what the industry is now calling AI SEO. Traditional SEO was really a game of keyword density and earning backlinks to win a blue hyperlink. This new era is entirely focused on generative engine optimization, or GEO, and answer engine optimization, AEO.
A lot of acronyms there.
True, but the concept is simple. These language models don't just list links. They read, digest, and synthesize information. So to be chosen as a source by the model, your content needs to be provided in clear, extractable, standalone, factual blocks.
Right, like highly structured definition blocks or, natural language bulleted FAQs on your site.
Exactly. Formatting matters more than ever.
But I have to push back here and push back pretty hard.
Sure. Go ahead.
The sources highlight the staggering statistic. Like 58.5% of searches in the US now end without a single click.
The zero-click searches.
Yeah, zero-click searches. If nearly 60% of people aren't clicking my link to visit my actual website, why should I even participate in this game?
It's a common question.
I mean, aren't I just doing free research and providing free data for a multi-billion-dollar tech company? Because if they don't visit my site, they don't buy my product.
I hear that frustration constantly from business owners. It really feels like digital theft to a lot of people.
It does.
But we have to separate website traffic from overall business revenue, and we have to reframe how we measure success. Traffic just isn't the only metric anymore.
So what is?
In a synthetic-first world, success is about mention share and entity-level presence.
Okay, mention share. You're going to have to explain that because mention share doesn't pay my bills.
Well, it doesn't pay them directly, but the absence of it will absolutely bankrupt you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Think about it this way. If the digital agent doesn't cite your business in its summary, it is absolutely going to cite your competitor's business.
Right.
Even if the user never clicks a link, they are sitting there reading a highly authoritative, synthesized answer that recommends a brand to solve their problem.
And if your brand isn't the one being recommended,
You lose the customer before they even realize they had an option. They just pick up the phone and call the plumber the algorithm told them was the best.
okay, so it's like an invisible funnel. If you aren't in the summary, you don't even exist in the consideration phase.
You're invisible.
So how do you force the model to cite you over the competitor?
You have to provide something the model cannot fake or scrape from Wikipedia.
Like what?
You need original first-party data. The sources give a really brilliant example of a local dermatology clinic.
Okay.
If that clinic just publishes generic blog posts about, what is acne, the algorithm ignores them. It already knows what acne is.
It doesn't need another generic definition.
Exactly. But if that clinic publishes original, localized case studies from their own patients or proprietary research written by their own board-certified doctors, the language model has to cite them.
Because it's unique information.
Right. The original verified insight is exactly what the model needs to build a trustworthy answer.
You are feeding the machine undeniable, unique expertise. But here's the catch that the sources spent a lot of time on. To even be considered by these digital agents, your site needs a rock-solid technical foundation. The bot has to actually be able to read your site.
Which sounds obvious, but it's where things fall apart.
Yeah, the intelligence reports say most organizations get this completely wrong and waste massive amounts of money and time.
They do. Let's talk about the psychological trap of website audit tools.
Oh, I know this trap very well. You run your site through some online SEO tool, and it spits back a report with 847 flagged issues, all glowing in this angry red text.
It induces immediate panic.
Total panic. And it treats a missing H1 header tag on some old dead blog post from 2015 with the exact same urgency as a critical indexing error on your main checkout page.
And human nature makes us want to fix all 847 of those red flags.
We want the green check mark.
We want a perfect score of 100 on our lighthouse warning report. But the sources are clear chasing that perfect score is a massive mistake.
Why is that?
You have to look at the Pareto principle. Focusing on the 20% of the work that drives 80% of the impact. Up to 67% of in-house marketing teams report that their technical fixes get blocked simply because of developer bandwidth.
Which makes total sense. I mean, developer time is incredibly expensive.
Highly expensive.
Sending them after 847 minor red flags is like, I don't know, meticulously scrubbing your baseboards with a toothbrush while your kitchen is literally on fire.
That is the perfect analogy.
Yeah.
You are confusing activity with actual impact.
But let me play devil's advocate again here.
Go for it.
Isn't ignoring broken things like 404 error pages basically digital negligence? I mean, if I walk into a physical store and the shelves are broken, I leave. Doesn't a clean, technically perfect site look more authoritative to Google?
It's about scale and reality. If the shelf holding your best-selling product is broken, yes, absolutely fix it immediately.
Right.
But these automated audit tools are usually flagging broken shelf in a dusty basement storage closet that hasn't been open since 2014.
Ah, I see.
If a page gets zero traffic, fixing its 404 error does nothing for your bottom line. You have to factor in the hidden cost, which is opportunity cost.
Right, because time is limited.
Every hour your development team spends fixing a minor, invisible warning is an hour. They're not spending updating the high-value content that's currently sitting on page 2, just waiting to break onto page 1.
So what you do instead?
High-performing teams practice what the sources call strategic neglect.
Strategic neglect.
Yes. They intentionally ignore the noise to focus exclusively on true growth-blocking issues.
And here's where it gets really interesting, because one of those true blockers right now is what they call AI crawlability.
Yes, this is huge.
We used to just worry about Googlebot, and Googlebot is highly advanced, right? It can read and render incredibly complex JavaScript code.
It's practically a full browser at this point.
Exactly. But the new bots scraping the web to train these language models, bots like GPTbot or ClaudeBot, they're not nearly as sophisticated when it comes to rendering a live page.
Not at all.
The data shows they often fetch JavaScript files, but they do not execute them.
And that is a critical distinction that is catching a lot of businesses completely off guard.
Let's look at JavaScript hydration.
Yeah, let's explain that.
Many modern e-commerce sites use this. It basically means the initial page loads almost completely blank, just a skeletal framework.
Right.
And then the JavaScript kicks in a fraction of a second later to populate the product descriptions, the pricing, the user reviews.
But if a synthetic bot doesn't execute that JavaScript, it just sees the skeleton.
It literally sees a blank page.
Yeah.
Your products, your prices, your reviews, they effectively don't exist to the algorithm.
Which is a massive blind spot.
And the sources mention other advanced, sneaky architectural issues that drain your crawl budget, too, like having your staging or testing site accidentally indexed, or creating what they call infinite spaces.
Oh, infinite spaces are fascinating and incredibly destructive. That happens when a site has layered sorting filters. Imagine a clothing store with filters for price low to high, then color blue, then size medium, then brand.
Oh, I hate navigating those sites sometimes.
Well, the bots hate them too. The way the site is coded might accidentally generate millions of unique URL combinations that don't actually offer new content.
So the bots just get stuck.
They get trapped in this infinite loop, crawling endless variations of the exact same blue shirt instead of finding your new valuable content.
Wow.
Practicing strategic neglect means ignoring the minor 404s so your team has the resources to fix these massive architectural traps.
Okay, so if we're strategically neglecting the minor stuff and focusing heavily on making our data perfectly extractable and fixing these major architectural blockers, who exactly is doing all this work?
That's the real question.
Because it sounds like the role of the SEO professional has fundamentally broken out of the traditional marketing silo.
It absolutely has. If we connect this to the bigger picture, visibility in 2026 has to be built into an organization's actual DNA.
It can't just be an afterthought.
Exactly. It is no longer a checklist you hand to a marketing intern at the end of a project. It is a visibility supply chain.
A visibility supply chain, meaning the entire flow of information has to be managed from top to bottom.
Yes. The sources talk about establishing what they call visibility gates.
Okay, what are those?
Instead of just a copywriter publishing a page and hoping for the best, content has to pass through specific gates across different departments.
Like what kind of gates?
Well, there's the technical gate, ensuring the data structure is sound. The brand signal gate, ensuring entity alignment is consistent across PR and marketing. The accessibility gate, making sure the text is chunked properly for RAG architecture.
Wait, stop right there.
Well,
Our RAG architecture, vector databases. We are drifting into some pretty heavy jargon here. I'm completely lost. Can we get an ELI 5 and explain it like I'm 5 on this? What are we actually talking about when we say RAG?
Fair enough, fair enough. Let's break that down. RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation.
Okay, that doesn't help me at all.
Let's ignore the acronym. Imagine a language model's brain is like a massive three-dimensional map of concepts. This map is a vector database.
A 3D map.
Right. Words and ideas that are related live in the exact same neighborhood on this 3D map. Like coffee and espresso live right next door to each other.
Makes sense.
But coffee and concrete live on opposite sides of the planet.
Okay, I'm with you so far. A 3D map of concepts.
So when a user asks the digital agent a question, the agent flies into this 3D map, retrieves the concepts that are clustered closely together, and generates an answer.
Oh, retrieves and generates, RG.
Exactly. It retrieves the data, then generates the text. But here is the problem for businesses. If your company's public relations team is calling your new software a workflow automation tool in their press releases,
Right.
but your product team is calling it a productivity engine on the website.
Oh, I see it. Workflow automation tool and productivity engine might live in completely different neighborhoods on that 3D map.
Exactly. The AI gets confused. It sees conflicting terminology, fails to connect the dots on that 3D map, and simply drops your brand from its answers because it can't confidently verify what you actually do.
So that explains the new hiring paradigm the sources talk about. Because to fix that kind of internal mess, you need two totally distinct types of leaders.
You really do.
First, you need the hacker, the deeply technical architect who actually understands these vector databases and tests how the models are reading the site's code.
And on the other side of the building, you need the convincer.
The convincer.
Yeah, this is the social glue of the operation. The convincer translates all that deeply technical data from the hacker into C-suite objectives and shared goals across the entire company.
But I have to ask, isn't implementing all these gates and shared objectives across PR, product, and content just adding massive layers of corporate bureaucracy to something that used to be as simple as adding a few keywords to a headline?
It definitely feels like bureaucracy at first, I won't lie.
Yeah.
But organizational alignment is the new SEO. The algorithms are now smart enough to detect inconsistencies across your entire digital footprint. If your departments are siloed, your data will be disjointed and the algorithm will simply not trust you, period.
That makes total sense. You need a single source of truth. So we've talked a lot about high-level corporate organizational theory here.
We have.
How does this apply to you listening right now? What if you aren't running a massive enterprise with a PR team and a product team? What if you are operating a local service business, or you're a solo entrepreneur, or a creative professional like a photographer?
The good news is the underlying principles of clarity, structure, and reality still apply entirely. They're just executed on a more localized scale.
Okay.
For local service businesses, the sources outline a highly specific 90-day local SEO sprint. It is specifically designed to build the exact kind of consistent, undeniable relevance that these synthetic models crave.
Let's walk through that sprint because it is incredibly actionable for our listeners. Days 1 through 3 are all about baseline tracking.
Right. You have to know where you stand before you start changing things.
Then days 4 through 10, you fix your Google Business Profile, or GBP. And the biggest takeaway here is to stop keyword stuffing your business name.
Please stop doing this. This is a remnant of the old vending machine days that will actively hurt you now.
Right. If your legal business name is Joe's Plumbing, do not name your Google profile Joe's Plumbing and Emergency 24/7 Drain Cleaning.
The spam filters will catch you instantly.
Just call it Joe's Plumbing. And use exact primary categories, not a laundry list of vague services hoping to catch random, unrelated traffic.
Because the models are verifying reality. They want to know what you actually do.
What happens next in the sprint?
Then, days 11 through 35 of the sprint are dedicated to building real service and location pages on your actual website. This is where you have to provide real, local proof.
Local proof.
The algorithm wants to see actual pricing ranges for that specific city, specific local FAQs, photos of real jobs you've completed in that specific neighborhood.
And you have to avoid what the sources call copy-paste city pages.
Oh, these are the worst.
We've all seen these, where a roofer creates 50 identical pages for 50 different surrounding towns, and the only thing that changes is the name of the city swapped out in the header tag.
It's so transparent.
Doing that is like putting up a generic, identical billboard in 50 towns you don't even have a physical office in. Human beings see right through it, and now the algorithms see right through it too.
This brings up a vital point about how local visibility functions today. It is entirely based on physical reality.
Physical reality.
Yes. Spam filters and synthetic agents are actively cracking down on fake service areas and inflated digital footprints. You cannot trick the system into thinking you serve an area you don't have a footprint in.
It just won't work anymore.
The businesses that win local visibility in 2026 are the ones that operate clearly, consistently, and responsively as real-world entities.
Which perfectly leads into days 36 to 70 of the sprint, establishing a steady cadence of weekly reviews.
Notice the word steady. Right, not massive unnatural bursts where you beg 50 past clients for a review in one afternoon and then go silent for 6 months. It needs to be a natural, ongoing rhythm of reality.
Exactly.
And this hyper-specific, reality-based approach applies to creatives too. The specialized photography guide in our stack today aligns perfectly with this. For photographers, the biggest trap is putting every single thing they do on one crowded, messy homepage.
Right. If you shoot weddings, high school seniors, and corporate headshots, you need distinct, dedicated service pages for each one of those categories.
You can't just mash them together.
If they're all mashed together, the algorithm struggles to classify you. Separate pages give the language model clear, extractable blocks of information about each distinct service you actually offer.
And there is a crucial tip here for visual artists regarding image search. As a photographer, you upload hundreds of photos to your portfolio. Do not leave the image file name or the alt text as img4567.jpg.
The AI has no idea what that is.
You have to describe it naturally. Write something like bride and groom walking through downtown Greensboro.
Yes.
The guide mentions using specialized tools like PhotoBiz AI to automatically generate this alt text. Write AEO-friendly content to cure that blank page writer's block, and even generate schema markup for your portfolio.
We should probably define that too.
Yes, please. We're throwing around schema markup. What is that, practically, for someone just uploading a photo?
Think of schema markup as invisible digital sticky notes that you slap onto the back of your photos and web pages.
Invisible sticky notes.
Humans can't see them, but search bots read them instantly. These sticky notes categorize the data, telling the bot, this is a price, or this is a location, or this is a wedding photo.
Oh, I see.
An image file named img4567 is a black box. An image with descriptive alt text in those invisible sticky notes is a verifiable fact that the model can confidently present to a user asking for wedding photographers in downtown Greensboro.
So what does this all mean for you?
It's the big question.
If we pull all these threads together, the playbook for 2026 is actually pretty clear. You can't just chase vanity rankings anymore. You can't just run an automated audit tool and try to fix every single microscopic error on a checklist.
That's a waste of time.
You have to understand that your audience has changed. They are treating the search results page like a Friday night Netflix browse. They are hovering, evaluating, comparing, and reading synthesized summaries right there on the SRP.
They aren't clicking away.
Your job, whether you are a global enterprise organizing a massive visibility supply chain or a solo photographer optimizing your local portfolio, is to build a clear, structured system that serves up undeniable, extractable facts to the algorithms.
That's the mission.
You are shifting from trying to win a blue link to trying to become the authoritative source that the digital agents rely on to build their answers.
It's about moving from being a destination someone searches for to being the undeniable fact the algorithm builds its foundation upon.
That's a great way to summarize it. And I want to leave you with a final thought to ponder today. We've spent this entire deep dive talking about how to optimize your digital presence so that an algorithm can read it, verify it, and summarize it for a human user.
Right.
But the technology doesn't stop at summarization. What happens to your business when these digital agents evolve from just answering user questions to actually taking action?
That's a whole different level.
What happens when a user tells their digital assistant, find me a highly rated plumber near me, check their availability for Tuesday morning, and book the appointment?
If you aren't optimized, you're out.
Exactly. If your visibility system isn't airtight today and the algorithm can't perfectly understand your exact services, your pricing, and your real-time schedule,
Right.
you won't just lose website traffic.
You won't even exist.
You won't even exist to the digital assistants of tomorrow. So before you worry about chasing the next shiny marketing trend, make sure your digital house is actually in order.
The Focus Shift podcast is presented by PhotoBiz, the best website solution for photographers. Whether you're launching your site or scaling your online business, PhotoBiz has your back. To get started for free, visit photobiz.com today.